checking tonight's agenda for the workshop meeting, there's an entry about a resolution relevant to a deputy tax assessor. Do you have any knowledge as to whether that suggests, in light of the recent shenanigans with the poor handling of the revaluation, whether that's a replacement for the current assessor or just somebody filling a position that's been vacated?
That's a good question. And I'll bring up one point first about transparency in government. That is, I couldn't tell you what's in that resolution. That's kept from the people of Middletown, from all of you here tonight, by the Township Committee.
So
that would change that. So you
like
as a citizen who will pick up the tab does not even know what that resolution is, and won't know until the minutes are put on the website, if they are, or if you go in the day after the meeting and ask for them. So that's one big problem right there. So I'm sorry to say I can't answer what resolution they have on the agenda. I can tell you though, when this issue came out about the reevaluation and the delay, the mayor said that they did not tell Mr. Heck to withhold that information, that Mr. Heck withheld that information on his own volition.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, what kind of government operates like that? This reevaluation is years delayed. Years delayed. And he said it to everybody, and it's on tape, that they had no hand in it. Well, I saw recently where he's now taking credit for it. And so you can't have it both ways, you know? You can't deny responsibility for breaking the law, which is what happened. They broke the law. And then try and take an advantage of that situation by lying to the people. It's wrong.
I just want to add something very quickly there. Pat had mentioned integrity earlier and what integrity is. And this goes right to the issue of integrity when we're looking at the revaluation process. Now, people being people, and I said this at the last press conference, nobody likes to pay taxes. We don't. And the reality is, to run government, you have to do that. And so there are some people who benefited from the results, if you will, of the revaluation not going through. And so be it. But my issue here is that the process was mismanaged. It's somewhat like the ends justify the means. Well, when it comes to integrity, there's no such thing as a little lapse in integrity. You're either in integrity or you're out of integrity. It's that simple. This is one area that's not gray. It is just not gray. So what they failed to do was manage the process. And if they were managed in process, they mismanaged the process. So they're not being accountable for those actions. And people have suffered. And the way reevaluations work, to my understanding, people with moderate incomes to less than moderate incomes were more damaged by this revaluation not going through. People on the higher end of the spectrum when it comes to property values really had the benefit from this not going through. So the consequences of mismanagement benefited those on the upper end. So now we're going to have to wait and see what happens from there. So my issue around reevaluation has always been lack of leadership and the mismanagement that came along with it. And that just has to end. To some degree, how we're managing our legal expenses as well goes to the issue of mismanagement. That needs to be refined. It's just too murky and too opaque. So, again, there's this lack of integrity, a clear lack of integrity.